It is 59 days to the presidential and parliamentary elections. Good afternoon and welcome to Election Brief. My name is Faustina Safa. We're live on DSTV channel 421, GoTV channel 125 on all our social media handles and around the world on myjoyonline.com. Election headquarters is brought to you by Petrosol Platinum Energy, Energizing Dreams, the Chartered Institute of Management Accountants, CIMA, and the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants, together as the Association of International Certified Professional Accountants. Also brought to you by German Ozone Medical Center, Alternative Therapy, Dental Wellness and Beauty, as well as Chopbox Technologies, a convenience service, and Youth Bridge Foundation, bridging the gap for positive youth development. Please stay for details. Thanks for choosing us for your home of independent, fearless, and credible journalism. Now we start with the former Suraj Commissioner, Justice Emil Short, because he has called for swift prosecution of those behind the deadly violence during the 2020 election. Speaking at the West African Policy Dialogue series, he emphasized that bringing these perpetrators to justice is critical to restoring public confidence and ensuring peaceful elections in December. Short warned that failure to act could fuel more violence in future polls, including the 2024 elections.
Citizens are enticed to vote for political parties through monetary and other material incentives. The most tragic aspect of this scenario is that it is carried out publicly and no one is prosecuted. Recommendations. As we prepare for the 2024 general elections, we must seek to address the challenges that threaten the credibility of the elections. One, to ensure peace in the 2024 elections, I call for the prosecution of the perpetrators of the killings during the 2020 general elections. This will serve as an assurance to the electorate so that they will not resort to violence when confronted by opponents. Recommendations for investigations of violence during elections such as the Ayawaso West Wogan by-election should be fully implemented.
Well, with 59 days until this year's presidential and parliamentary election, Deputy Commissioner of the Electoral Commission in charge of corporate services, Bosman Asare, says the Commission is fully prepared for the 2024 general election. He emphasized that 96% of eligible voters are already registered, marking one of the highest voter registration rates in West Africa, second to Cape Verde. Speaking at a West African Dialogue series organized by West African Civil Society Institute in Accra, Mr. Asare also confirmed that all election staff have been hired and fully trained in preparation for the upcoming election.
Let me start responding by saying that as of 2020, Ghana was the only country that had 85% of all eligible voters on the voters register in West Africa. So Ghana had 85% of the eligible people, followed by Cape Verde with about 83%, and others were doing about 70% in that manner. And currently, when you look at the registered voters we have in Ghana, almost about 18,700,000. And the data from the Ghana Statistical Service is almost of those who are at least 18. Ghanaians who will be 18 by the end of this year, that's 90.4. So when you look at it, that means in Ghana, almost about 96% of all eligible people who are supposed to be on the voters register are on the voters register. And there is no country coming close to that. And even beyond that, with the exception of Cape Verde, which has about 55% of its population on the voters register, Ghana is the next country doing almost 56%. And when you look at the fact that Cape Verde's population is about 600,000, and Ghana is about 33 million, So clearly, this is an indication that there is something the Electoral Commission in Ghana is doing in terms of registration of voters, which other countries in the continent, in the sub-region, are not doing.
For voters' voice, let's hear from constituents in Kwabenya who say the impact of developmental projects will inform their choice of vote come December 7.
Abawa Blekuma North Awosh Ona Metuaba. Okay, dear me pese oyam say street lights. If it's a mama, no also or the pony besisi one. I statue street light near Blekuma. If you farm car besa kwa Blekuma no street lights. The accident is sipa or until the obejina near Srano. Yes, run on my street light now or my.
We talk about Kepkus Elmina. Yeah, Pinidi or Yadi or Yejuma. Oko K. Oh, any cra or ma, Wama Binimu is an Juma, Wamo Bimu machine, Wama a fence or share a binimuso, ma a fence. You say sounds so too abamani bioma obebo
Abenyan constituency agbogba ashoman pure water ye kwan no enye ye bibia se wo honum ya ashoma honum one ye ni toilet papa bia wo honum toilet na wo public toilet na ba ko pe ena ye lo le kwan no o shofiti estate honum ebe fa ashoman honum a kwano obia nyeye almost poly wenini omu nye kwano ye emaye na osho ye kwano so afiti downtown ekwa blajensu sa kwano so honum so asay someone amon be ye kwano amaya ena du 7 December abano ye di ballot box number ye ntu abano na ye nsuo no so omu hwe maye nso de we omu twe omu tumu ebi on betumi atumu 3 weeks 4 weeks na ye nya nsuo Bia van Dale.
Normal bebre ne ebehwe so ayede ato aba no. Na me to aba wo Domi Kwabrinya constituency. Nura me fa pantan tema. Wo hwe gata o mayi e de ama wo mo na. Sa adwuma ni bi na eso omutimi yi ama pe otafo na nka omo so ede. Enso to a na yira afo mo. Enso to a na yira afo mo. Enya kwan ne keke na enyo. Gata eso omuyi gata kese e ma community no. So ne be yan so ne betimi ayedai afam
me to aba wa Ablekuma North de onye aban ko omonya hwe wo ye na nsen shila ba yoko ba ko no so aba kwafe no so aba no so onya hwe ntimi de me se aba no de me nto kra ma mo kra because me nu mo ye wo homayen se be mo nyina mo bombo no to se be wanya ho se bia o ya twifo krom nti de mpa bia no mo ye wo ma hwe na oba no anything na oba no o hwe ni conditions de ba to say person adwuma ya wa no say bias input to den koso say because Ablekuma North hwe da kuma ono ma gota no enye nso to ho nyina yiri odoko market enye kufu aba Bawumia aba na so aba omu ntumi nsi ma Ablekuma North ye na so de bia so na taba ma abipifo eye nungase kese pa nti mama ba no mbesi ma ye ne hu say mama ye nipa betu den ama Ghana ko nanim
afi we abato ano aye kwakoto no me mpaso so ne de to be frank ya kwan na me hwe na fi me ato aba ofa no light na issue de make say a little bit good but ya kwan de say no board de boss ni asase de aye kota mu fa bingu hoda gata sekra any ho enti no na me hwe na fi me ato aba ama incoming MP na obeba no because ya to aba to yenya ho faso bia enti no in particular aye kwan no na me hwe na fi me ato aba o afiwe.
You're still watching Election Brief. We'll be back with more after this breather. Thank Thanks for staying with us. Now, Christian Kwabena Andrews, founder and leader of the Ghana Union Movement, has waded into the debate about organized labor intended strike. He says the industrial action is needless. He spoke on Newsdesk.
It's not important. You see, government, the president don't have solution to the problems that we have as of now. So it's up to the organized labor to sit down and bring a solution. Give it to the government that we think this is what we have to do, but not going on strike. For strike for what? It will not affect Akufo-Addo. Akufo-Addo is in the Jubilee House. It's going to affect other people. And we are not the one that causing these things. So they should put a stop to this thing and sit down and know the practical way of solving this problem. Because maybe Akufo-Addo are fall short in the ideas of putting the end of these things. You come out, bring ideas, give it to him. If he is not going to do it, then that you can say that we have suggested something better. But he has never done anything to that effect. Then we are going on strike. But not now. For this very strike issued for tomorrow is not necessary. You should cut it off and sit down and just correct ideas and just give the solution to the president. For him to come out and say that, oh, yeah, I welcome your idea. So I'm going to, based on this, I'm going to work with it. Because right now, they don't have any means of solving this problem. So if you have a better idea, bring it to me on board.
Well, they have suggested that the president should declare a state of emergency.
A state of emergency, we're not going to bring this thing. You're not going to solve the problem.
Why?
Why? If you declare it and you stay at home, well, what is going to bring out of this? You won't get anything out of this. It is better you just give a concrete solution to this problem by writing to the president. This is what we think. This is a national issue that we should sit down and know what to do. If it were me, to the president, I'd rather even organize these boys all over the country, wherever they are, come and register. Just get embassy, maybe 10,000 cities, or maybe 20 million, take it. Just say, we want to reclaim the land, wait for a while, we will go back to you sit down, you start giving them certain things, you talk to them. But if you say you are sending police and the military over there, they have more guns than military that we have.
Wife of the Vice President, Samira Bawumia, has made a passionate appeal to voters to promote her husband and presidential candidate of the NPP, Dr. Bawumia, as the next president of Ghana. Speaking to voters during her Ashanti regional campaign tour, Mrs. Bawumia argued that her husband's success as vice president, despite the constitutional limits on his role, is a testament to his leadership abilities and makes him the ideal candidate for the top job. She says a vote for Dr. Bawumia will unleash the country's potential through digitalization and job creation. And Abuachi Adam has more.
The wife of the Vice President, Hajia Samira Bawumia, started her Ashanti regional campaign tour with an engagement in the Muslim and Zongo communities in the Offenso constituency. The campaign is to strengthen the party's base in the Ashanti region with a focus on securing victory in the December 7 polls. Addressing voters, Samira Bawumia emphasized that her husband's success as vice president has been evident in the many development projects he has championed.
Bawumia nakumaye. Broni Beka, he's a good man. He's an intelligent man. Owa adrinkesi odibabe Ghana. Baby Ayedri, we need a leader with bold solutions to move this country forward. Obia owa ho brasie obi biara betimi aba ne ho obetimi de wasema betu nenim na odi tu nenim so a obetie na sempe atupem se nipa no one Bawumia na odi hihye bebre so ba obrayem women's fund emma ebetimi enye sika e de aye ejuma obrayem SME bank oye bebnu oye penyin bema obao oko bank wa obenye skadi aye business.
Bawumia is intelligent and has bold solutions. He has several initiatives like the Women's Fund and the SME Bank. He's also introducing the 1 million digital jobs. Bawumia as vice president has served well with several ideas.
Intino, yes, I grow beso if you are no pa. Na Bawumia as a vice president, what say obey ejumaden edi asum Ghana. Or the ideas be breaba. And now all them now will talk electricity akai Bawumia say one could delay so.
She appealed to voters to vote for Dr. Bawumia as a reward for his achievements as vice president.
Vice President Piyaba, Opia Bene dear, you don't want Sinijuma Paul Moye. Nanso, ye cannot credit dear Dr. Bawumia or de Mufwa. Ejuma Wire as vice president, ye who be that. Ghana Constitution, mono vice president, who need to me.
There has been several vice presidents, but Dr. Bawumia stands out. His work is unprecedented. The Constitution gives him no power, but he has succeeded. You named him Mr. Digital, so he has digital solutions.
Mwana moto no Mr. Digital beboa. Mwana moto no Mr. Digital beboa. Or the digital solutions aba. Because as we all know, we are moving into the 4th industrial revolution.
The Ashanti Regional Chairman of the MPP, Bernard Enchiboesiako, urged voters to protect policies like the free senior high school introduced by the MPP by voting for Dr. Bawumia.
Sir, Ababiano, Sawus Sanua, and Putujuma Kosunyano, a Jai Fiemianu, a Jai Fiemianu, at the hospitals, schools are what do I yes, Yano.
If there is a change of government, developmental projects stall. So all our projects will stall if you vote for Mahama. If he wins, he intends to cancel free SHS.
Mahama, so Papa, Adia Obayana said free education. Anna was Remno, Anna, Sawa Asia Omanano, Anuna Mahama Baby Tramu.
For Joy News, Nana Boache Dankwa Yadom, Kumasi.
Away from that, various interest groups in the Sagnarigu constituency have handpicked the Electoral Commission as the key institution that can ensure this year's election is violence-free. The interest groups, which include people identified as potential troublemakers, believe the EC is key in helping the country have peaceful and transparent elections. Now, this was disclosed during some focus group discussion organized by Tudu Center for Leadership and Development as part of a peaceful building initiative ahead of the December polls.
Center for Leadership and Development, a non-governmental organization in the northern region, has over the past few months been engaging communities identified as triggers of violence in elections in the northern region, especially the December polls. The Sanarigu constituency has been identified as a hotbed which has the potential to experience violence in the December polls. It's based on this background that the NGO is meeting with these interest groups. Speaking at the Damankunyele community, co-founder of Tudu Center for Leadership and Development, Osman Mubarak, said all the communities they have engaged so far believe the EC has a crucial role to play in ensuring a violent-free election.
One thing we have observed is that key among the findings during our interaction with these interest groups are one, they have all agreed that there is the possibility that we could encounter electoral violence. And one of them, the causes, they believe that Electoral Commission is key in helping us have a peaceful and transparent elections. I mean, all of them, all the communities we have engaged, they all believe that EC will play a key role in getting us a successful and a peaceful election. Another thing that has cut across is the abuse of drugs during election and the election day.
Assemblyman for the Damankunyele electoral area outlined some of the things that trigger violence in that polling area.
Causes of electoral violence in this electoral area or Damankunyele community per se. One is illiteracy. 2, strangers voting in the community. 3, jumping of queues. We have competitive politics. We also have incitement and hate speech, drug abuse, and alcohol.
The presiding member of the Sanergu municipality, Salim Abubakar, said the engagement was to get the input of communities and how to address these issues before the December polls.
Started it, that was last 2 weeks ago, engaging all the chief palaces to make sure that there will be peace after and during the elections. And when you look at certain things, election violence, today's our engagement started with what? Election violence. What causes election violence? And election violence, I can say that it's like disagreement and agreement. These are the two factors that always bring these conflicts. So we are here today to listen to the people, their inputs and output, how we can come together to find solution to this election violence.
That meeting, which is scheduled for 2 p.m. at the TUC headquarters, have just started about some 5 minutes ago. The leadership of TUC, the Secretary General, Mr. Joshua Ansan, as well as his chairman, just walked into the conference room a while ago with a handful of the TUC, some other leadership of the labor unions. I saw them, the UTAC president of the University of Ghana, Professor Jampo, as well as his general secretary there. Just when they walk in, the leadership asked the media to excuse them to hold some brief meeting amongst themselves before they give an update to the media, as they did just 2 days ago. And so the media has been asked to step out of the conference room. Currently ongoing is the meeting between all of them. Just a while ago, I saw Thomas Musa, who is the president of the Ghana National Association of Teachers. I also saw the public, the pool also going in there, the Public Utility Workers Union also going in there. They earlier gave out a press statement indicating their position on the matter, indicating that they would also be proceeding on this strike come tomorrow, except those of their staff who are working at the treatment as well as the engine rooms. They are the ones who will be staying on work. And so a handful of the workers' union, the various organized labor unions are in there. I haven't seen the NAGRA president in there yet, Nje Kabonu in there yet, but the update is that that meeting has started. What we're picking is that today's meeting is about the modalities of which the strike would happen. We know that some of the independent unions have issued statements on how the strike should happen, but a general modality will be given at the end of the day as to how the workers are going to embark on the strike. We saw the Ghana Coalition Against Illegal Mining, or against Galamsey, issue some sort of flyer earlier urging all members to strap red armbands on their arms as well as their head, as well as on their vehicles when they want to move about town. And so that is the modality from the Ghana Coalition Against Galamsey. But for the entire labor union, we don't know how they will be carrying out that. And so we're expecting that at the end of the day, they will give us a clearer update on how we should go about the strike come tomorrow morning. Fosti.
And thank you, James Abeji, joining us live from organized labor emergency meeting. We'll be live there when it commences and also give you updates in subsequent bulletins. Well, that's it for Election Brief. For more news, please log on to myjoyonline.com. My name is Faustina. Good afternoon.